So I'd like to talk a little bit about the nutrition panel on XOJO. Tell me a little bit about what's on there.
Sure. So let's kind of zoom in and understand what's going on the formulation side of XOJO. What's in XOJO and why is it there? We really want to start thinking about what we call macronutrients. These are the carbohydrates and the proteins, as well as the micronutrients, those critical electrolytes, and what micronutrients aren't there. The vitamins which aren't a critical component during exercise in the typical ratios that you would see in a multivitamin, and then what isn't there in the sense of no fat, no cholesterol. So when we really look at macronutrients, it's all about what am I getting to be able to sustain my body with energy, and what does that matrix look like? There's a lot of companies and products out there that tout that there's a specific ratio that's important. What we've discovered is that it's not so much the ratio that's important. It has to do with whether or not that protein is in its native form, whether it's folded appropriately, and what surrounds it. What have we complexed that with that makes the biggest difference? And so those macronutrients are present in XOJO. We have that great range of not only the proteins, as we've talked about, the whey protein isolate and the soy protein isolate. We've talked about why those are important, and that soy gives you the glutamine and the arginine, which is so critical, as well as really rounding out that complete perfect score for protein quality. But also carbohydrates. We have two different forms of carbohydrates that work through two different biochemical pathways. And essentially you can think of it as trucks that have to line up into your cells to be able to get in through the gate. And if they all have to line up and can only get through one gate, there's only so many trucks that can get inside to give energy to that cell. But by using two different biochemical pathways, we're essentially opening up two gates. So now you can get twice as much energy into that cell. They're not all jammed up trying to get in through that one particular pathway. So we're using two different pathways. So we have that great combination of protein and carbohydrates, but we don't have fat. And some people say, well, you need fat. No, actually, there's appropriate times to get fat, and during exercise, and especially when you're trying to crave those crush those cravings during the day, you don't want the fat because it has a very low satiety score. Lots of calories, not going to fill you up very much. And certainly during an exercise, it's not the time you want to be taking fat. You want to be getting good fat through proper nutrition, but it's not something that you necessarily want in a supplement form. Usually fats are used in the protein bars that are out there, and you even see it creep into the beverages and drinks and goos as well, because there's a misconception that I need a certain amount of fat during exercise, and it's just not the case. It's actually being used because it's a manufacturing technique to be able to make the protein go into solution or to behave in the way that it's supposed to behave, so it tastes a little better. But the real benefit is making sure you're getting the right carbs and the right protein, so no fat, which is great. Also, we're very proud of the fact that there's no cholesterol as well. Very heart healthy. And then we also have the micronutrients. Micronutrients being those key electrolytes. We have the appropriate balance of all of the electrolytes that you need during exercise to be able to replenish your body, but we're not doing these ridiculously high amounts of electrolytes. We're giving you the right amount, and it all comes down to dosing, that you're getting the right amount of protein, carbohydrates, those macronutrients, and the micronutrients, the electrolytes, dosed appropriately per unit of time, and then you're also not getting the fat and not getting the cholesterol.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so XOJO has the proper balance of macronutrients, micronutrients, and then also no fat and no cholesterol, which is essential for during exercise.
Absolutely, not only during exercise, but being able to crush those cravings during the day effectively.